Hello everybody, Hyper Mario Sunshine here, and we're here for a review today of Fire Emblem Three Houses. As we can see here in the front. Uh, anyways, let us begin. So, yes, this is the 16th Fire Emblem game that isn't a spin-off. So, it's the 16th mainline game. Yes, it does include remakes, because remakes are technically the another Fire Emblem game, because there is new stuff in it and more stories and whatnot. So, well, more towards the story. Anyways, so we're here to discuss about Fire Emblem Three Houses and what I thought about the game. I played through one of the houses already, the Black Eagles, and I'm about to finish my second house of the Blue Lions. And there's still the Golden Deer and the Church route that I have to go through, but I am very excited for it. So before the game released, I was really excited for this game. When it was first revealed, the animation team definitely came from the one that did Shadows of Valentia, which is another amazing game. I love that game too. It's probably one of my favorite Fire Emblem games, and this game definitely proved something when playing it. It was what Fates should have been, with picking sides, and it was done right. It wasn't a big mess, and you didn't have to pay for 3 different games. You had to pay for one, and you got 4 games, basically. 4 very intriguing, amazing games. So, well, let's see here. Let's start off first with the gameplay. It has a lot of replayability, and it's like any Fire Emblem game, but there is some new things like crests. Crests are basically special abilities that certain characters can get. Obviously, your main character to the left, or if you name after yourself or whatever, they also have one as well. I'm not going to say what it is, because that's a spoiler. But many characters throughout the game have it. Well, some don't, some do, and most if not all, being nobles. And obviously, there is a new game plus as well, so you could carry over your items from that, your shops, and you could also carry over, well, your Rion, whatever it's called. Renown, if you have there we go. Your Renown, and it actually could help you with supports on your allies. You get them quicker, and you could get your skills quicker too, or your ally skills, etc., or supports. So it's really useful, and it helps a lot when it comes to recruiting your other house members. And obviously, it's like any other Fire Emblem game, but some new mechanics such as Gambit are really nice to have, especially with like big giant monster enemies, having new armor-ish like things as you go through the game. And extra is another great part. Obviously, you can unlock different clips in events, and obviously your supports, but you also can unlock music. So obviously you could have music from, the current game, but you could also have, well, if you put in your amiibo, if you have any Fire Emblem based amiibo like the Chrom and Tiki amiibo, or the and Celica amiibos, or any of the Smash Fire Emblem character amiibos, you could unlock their songs. So obviously I've Conquest Ablaze is for Lucina. Beneath a new light, Roy's Courage is from Fire Emblem Binding Blade with the Roy amiibo. And I really like this song. And I like how it's introduced in Fire Emblem Heroes first. And obviously it's remixed to have like a more of a actual orchestra rather than the GBA sound font. So maybe, well, the Shadows of Valentia director or producer, I'm not sure which one it was, but they said they would like to remake Binding Blade next, so for all we know, we might be getting that Binding Blade remake with a hint of this. There's also March to Deliverance if you scan your Alm amiibo, with Milla's Divine Protection if you scan your Celica amiibo, and the World Tree, I'm gonna guess that's Tiki. I'm not sure. Because I did scan Tiki, and think that it might be the song. Anyways, uh, let's see here, and let's move on to the voice casting. So obviously, there's a lot of characters in this game, both on your, that your unplayable, your playable characters, your main characters, etc. And you have a bunch of them. Some of them are spoiler worthy, and some of them are not. So obviously, you have your standard house characters. You have the three leaders such as Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude, and you have your house members. So obviously, it's going to go down from Black Eagles to Blue Lions, and finally to Golden Deer, and then the school slash Garreg Mach, which is where you will be. It has a bunch of amazing characters. I'm gonna have to say my top 5 are Dorothea, Mercedes, Lindhart, Listia, and probably a tie between Manuela and Shamir. Lindhart's definitely one of my favorite males in this game. Obviously, some spoiler stuff with him. I love Casper too, as well for the males. Felix is cool. I really like all these characters. Well, most of them, except for you, Hubert. I'm not sure if anybody else doesn't like Hubert, but I do. It's just another one of those characters. I think it's been a stereotype since Tharja, and then Camilla in the next game, and then Faye. And now we got Hubert here, and I honestly don't like him. I think he's similar to Faye in ways. Like, there's not really a good reasoning, and, obviously to be that obsessive over Edelgard. Anyways, also there is some characters that you cannot recruit. Obviously, Dedu here, you cannot recruit him onto the other paths. I'm not sure, I couldn't recruit Hilda at all when I was on Black Eagles. Anyways, yes, you can recruit most of, if not, well, most of your units in each house. But some will be tied to their, well, house leader. And obviously some you can't get, obviously like Catherine and Gilbert you cannot get in Black Eagles. And Sedith and Flame you cannot get in Black Eagles. So yeah, Black Eagles is definitely a path of interesting points. But right now I'm on Blue Lion. So the stories are great so far. I've been enjoying them thoroughly. Like, there was nothing where I got too confused. I was just like more, every time there was something going on, I would just be shocked by what was going on. A lot of moments where I was like, my mind was just being blown by like what was happening in the cutscenes and how characters change throughout from the time that they're in school to the time skip itself. So yes, there is a time skip, so it is kind of like genealogy of the Holy War, which is the fourth Fire Emblem game that was on the SNES. It was Japanese only, and there is English fan translations. You can get them via ROM hacks. So yeah, it's a very interesting game. I've never played it myself, but a lot of people say it's one of the better Fire Emblem games, and deserves a remake because it hasn't aged that well. Anyways, also gotta say that they picked a lot of really good voice actors and actresses, but sadly, well, not sadly really, but Lefts got replaced due to the right reasonings. And I'm overall really happy with the voice cast. I really felt like some really outshined more than others. Obviously, there is a few characters that I noticed right off the bat, like some voice actors that I knew right off the bat. One of the characters which isn't here is, what's his face? I can't remember his name. I might have to search it up real quick, but I recognize Lorenz. He was immediately the guy. Again, I don't recall his name, but I remember who he voiced, and he voices Nigel, a.k.a. Number One from Codename Kids Next Door, and he also voices Joseph Joestar and a bunch of other anime and cartoon characters, which I was really happy. I immediately recognized it right away. He's just like a more polite Joseph Joestar, well, trying to be polite. And then we have I searched up the wrong thing. And then we have Yaritza. There we go. Yaritza is voiced by none other than Patrick Sates. I think he's the most reoccurring voice actor in Fire Emblem. He's done Basilio from Awakening. He's done well. He replaced Garon in Fates, which he now plays in Heroes. He replaced the guy that did it in Fates, and I honestly prefer him doing the voice. He voices Zeke in Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia, and he voices my favorite lord, Hector. So I hopefully if there's ever a Blazing Sword remake, we get him as Hector. I really like him as Hector. Anyways, back to the review. Besides, the character designs are really well done. Some people say that some characters look the same, like the same looks obviously like right here, but in the time skip they actually start getting to look a lot different. So like the same face syndrome isn't gonna really last. I think it's just them being young and coming from the same place, and plus to I mean some don't really like. One of like the worst like comparisons was like Dorothea and Edelgard, but when you see the time skip, they don't really look the same. Graphically, this game looks pretty good. Not really the best, but obviously they put a lot of time in the story, which obviously you got to make your game look good, but they did it at like that right pinch where the story really matters at the end, and I really like it. The story itself, there's two I haven't gone through yet, but the two I've been going through so far, they've been obviously been saying they're quite jaw dropping, and they've been really opening me up, and I'm really excited to go further through the game to see what's next. Like learn about the characters, the story, the world of Fodlan itself, and just the whole lore around this game. So the music itself is also really good. I really like the music. Fire Emblem games have some of the best soundtracks in all of Nintendo, and this one didn't. Not didn't, but it surpassed my expectations. It was wow. Every Fire Emblem game just gets better and better when it comes to music. Maybe not this one. I think it slightly couldn't beat Shadows of Valentia. I do really like some of the music in that game, but when it comes to vocal music, the main song for this game is just out of the water when it comes to everything else. But yeah, really great. I really like the game. Graphically, it's pretty good. It matches up. The story really does so much wonders. Definitely what Fate should have been. The characters are so memorable. A lot of people, you see people drawing them left and right. I'm literally on Twitter and I notice people drawing them, like all the characters, and it's just amazing. And obviously, I do like the mechanics of making your own classes and having like using skills with the gameplay and exploring the entire monastery, which I like doing a lot. It's like just so addictive to be fishing or having meals with your students. It's also intriguing, like having like singing with your students as well. It's just so much stuff that gets you addicted into this game, which is something like an RPG needs to do. Have like these kinds of interactions in the game, and this is like something that they've been planning on doing. Like they did a little bit of it in Shadows of Valentia with the dungeons, and a little bit of the like the towns and whatnot. But this was actually kind of a thing since the Fire Emblem the canceled Fire Emblem Wii, which was supposed to happen after Radiant Dawn. Like walking around towns and talking to people. I'm guessing this is where it came from, to be honest, and I really like it. Like I think they should bring this back in future games. But if it's a remake, then I don't think they could really bring it back. Unless like they had like a little thing, I guess. I don't know. Like they remade it and like had like a little base that they traveled to, like a little camp, like kind of like Awakening. They would have like a camp wherever they stopped at, I guess. But like it'd be like explorative. Like you go around and you could talk with like certain soldiers and whatnot. So obviously this game's been pretty amazing from what I've played. Great music. Like there's been nothing like where I gotten bored or I was like, ugh, I don't like this. Like there was just so much moments where I just enjoyed it thoroughly, and it's been keeping it that way. So amazing music, amazing characters, it's just Fire Emblem, but it's just that the developers wanted it to be so good. They didn't want to disappoint anybody, and they definitely proved it to us right here with this game. I'm really happy to give Fire Emblem Three Houses a 10 out of 10. Definitely my favorite game of the year so far. I don't know what else to say about this game. It's just this is definitely a big recommend. It's my favorite game of the year so far. Nothing else has really been able to excite me as much as this game when it comes to just everything in general. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I did actually get the limited edition case, which just has the art book and the calendar and whatnot, the steel case, and I do have it, and it's really nice. The artwork on it's done beautifully, and I can't wait to see what's in the art book. I've seen a little bit of it, so like from the internet, like a few characters, like their concept art and whatnot, and I just really like how they put a lot of time in this game. They truly cared about like what the fans really wanted, and they've been paying attention, noticing that the Fire Emblem fans wanted a like genealogy type of game, and that's what we've got. So I'm really happy, and that this game's been really exciting and just very enjoyable. So I definitely recommend that you get it if you haven't yet. So yes, thank you all so much for watching this review, and we'll be seeing you next time. Bye, everybody. So love my videos with a like button. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And, well, see you all